You step into the street, and the first thing you notice is the smell. It hits you instantly. Rotting waste, smoke, damp wood, human life pressed too tightly together. You try to breathe through your mouth, but it doesn't help. The street is alive, not with comfort, but with movement, noise, survival. A cart rattles past you, wheels grinding through mud that isn't just mud. Someone shouts, a child cries, somewhere nearby. A bell begins to ring. You don't know it yet, but you have just walked into London in the year 1348, and the world around you is about to change forever. You stand before London's gate in 1348. The walls rise high, scarred stone, dark with age and rain. Guards watch from above, not proud soldiers, but tired men with worn armor and steady eyes. Nothing here feels welcoming. A crowd presses forward, merchants clutch their goods, travelers argue, a beggar slips between bodies unseen. Coins pass quietly from hand to hand. Some are allowed through faster than others. You move with them, through the gate, and everything tightens. The air grows heavier, the noise multiplies, space disappears, streets twist without plan, narrow, uneven, alive. Houses lean inward, upper floors almost touching, blocking out the light. What little sun remains struggles to reach the ground. You hear it before you understand it. Voices, footsteps, carts grinding through filth. The ground is slick, not just mud. A man pushes past you without looking. Another shouts behind you. Somewhere close, metal strikes metal in a sharp, endless rhythm. There is no pause, no space to stop. The city does not slow for anyone, and now you are inside it. You follow the noise, and it pulls you into the market. Here, London feels different, not calmer, just more alive. Crowded bodies press past you from every side. Voices overlap, rising into a constant roar. Fresh fish, hot bread, good meat. The words repeat, shouted again and again, as if louder means better. You pass a butcher's stall. Meat hangs in the open air, dark and glistening. Flies cover it in a moving layer. The smell is thick, heavy, almost sweet. Nearby, a woman sells bread from a wooden table, her hands working quickly, never stopping. A dog slips between your legs, thin, nervous, starving. It snaps at something on the ground and vanishes into the crowd before anyone reacts. Coins change hands constantly, but not everyone has them. A beggar reaches toward you. His clothes are torn, his face hollow. He doesn't speak, he just looks at you. Around him, life continues without pause, because here, the market is not just trade, it is survival. You begin to understand something. This city is not built for comfort. It is built for survival. Most people wake before sunrise not because they want to, but because they must. Work starts immediately. There is no slow morning, no pause, no choice. Blacksmiths are already at their forges, hammering iron in tight, suffocating workshops. The sound rings through the streets, sharp, constant, impossible to ignore. Bakers pull bread from ovens, their skin slick with sweat, faces glowing from the heat of the fire. Servants move quickly between homes carrying water, food, messages, always rushing, always needed somewhere else. Everything here is done by hand. Every task takes effort. Even the simplest things feel heavy. There is no silence. Even inside the home, the outside world follows you. Voices leak through wooden walls. Footsteps echo from above. Arguments, laughter, coughing, always present. Privacy does not exist. You are never truly alone. Meals are quick, rest is short, and comfort is rare. People do not live here the way you imagine life. They endure it. one day at a time. You step inside, the door closes behind you, and the noise of the street fades, but never disappears. The room is dark, not silent, just heavy. Smoke hangs in the air from a small fire burning in the center. It drifts upward toward a hole in the roof, but most of it stays trapped inside. Your eyes begin to sting. Your throat tightens. There is almost nothing here. A rough wooden table, a few uneven benches, straw scattered across the floor used for sleeping. No separate rooms, no privacy. Everything happens here. In one corner, a chicken pecks quietly at the ground. No one reacts. This is normal. A pot hangs over the fire. Something thick moves slowly inside. Porridge, maybe? Bread sits nearby. Hard, dry. Meat is rare. Water is uncertain. Ale is safer. You sit. For a moment, it feels calm, almost peaceful. Then, a cough. Deep, harsh, from across the room. No one looks at the man. No one asks if he's all right. They already know. Here, sickness is not unusual. It is part of the air, part of the walls, part of life, and no one expects it to leave. You begin to notice it in small details. A cough that doesn't stop. A man leaning against a wall, breathing harder than he should. A woman pulling her hood lower as she passes others. At first, it feels normal. Illness is part of life here. It always has been. People get sick. People die. No one expects anything different. But something is changing. You see it in their faces, in the way people look at each other, quickly, cautiously, then away. Voices grow quieter. Conversations stop when someone new approaches. Rumors move faster than carts now. A sickness from distant lands. Ships arriving with dying crews. Ports where no one survives. No one knows what it is. There is no name for it yet. Only fragments. Fever. Pain. Strange swellings beneath the skin. Death that comes too quickly. Too suddenly. You pass a house where the door is closed, but people stand outside. No one knocks. No one enters. They just wait. As if they already know what is happening inside. Inside the city, life continues. It has to. Markets still open, work still goes on, but something unseen moves between people, in the air, on hands, on things that pass from one person to another. You cannot see it. You cannot avoid it. And that is what makes it terrifying. You feel it now, not as sickness, but as presence, an invisible weight pressing against the city, something already inside the walls, and no one knows how to stop it. Because in 1348, there is no understanding, only the growing certainty that something has arrived, and it is not leaving. At first, it's only whispers, a ship arriving from the south, sailors already sick before they reach the docks, strange stories carried along trade routes, entire towns falling silent, families disappearing in days. People talk about it quietly, in markets, in doorways, in churches after prayer. No one understands it, but everyone feels it coming. Then, it stops being a story. It becomes real. A man falls ill near the river, then a woman in a crowded street, then a child. At first, it seems like any other sickness. London is used to disease. People expect it. But this is different. It moves faster, too fast. Within days, the numbers begin to grow. 1 becomes 10. 10 becomes hundreds. And still, no one knows why. No one knows how. You begin to notice the fear. It's not loud. Not yet. It shows in small things. People stepping back. Conversations ending abruptly. Hands pulled away. Doors closing sooner than before. A cart arrives at the docks, and men refuse to unload it. Something is wrong. Deeply wrong. Then the signs become impossible to ignore. Dark swellings appear on the body. under the arms, along the neck, painful, growing, spreading. Fever follows, high, unrelenting. People weaken within hours. Some cannot stand, some cannot speak, and then they are gone. Not after weeks, after days, sometimes after a single night. The speed terrifies everyone. There is no time to prepare, no time to understand, only time to react. And most don't know how. Rumors spread faster than the disease itself. Some say it is punishment. Others say poisoned air. Some blame outsiders. Some blame God. No one agrees. But everyone is afraid. You watch as a family refuses to open their door to a neighbor. You see a man abandon his friend in the street, not out of cruelty, but survival. The city begins to change, slowly at first, then all at once. And you realize something chilling. This is only the beginning. At first, it doesn't feel like something extraordinary, just another sickness in a city that is already full of them. You notice a woman sitting against a wall. She's breathing too fast. Her hands tremble as she tries to hold a cup of water. No one helps her. No one even slows down. Because this is familiar. Illness is everywhere in London. But then you look closer. Her skin is not just pale. It has a strange tone, gray, almost wax-like. And when she turns her head, you see it, a swelling beneath her ear, dark, unnatural. You keep walking. You tell yourself it's nothing. But then you see another, and another. By the next day, it's impossible to ignore. People are collapsing in the streets, not slowly, not over days, but suddenly. A man is speaking one moment and gone the next. You hear coughing everywhere now, deep, violent, uncontrollable. Some cough blood, others can't stop shaking. Fever burns through them so quickly that their bodies seem to give up within hours. You pass a group gathered around a young boy. He's lying still, too still. His mother is calling his name over and over, but he doesn't respond. His neck, his arms, marked with the same dark swellings, larger now, blackened, as if something inside him is breaking through the skin. The city begins to understand, not fully, not scientifically, but instinctively. This is different. This is faster. This is worse. You start to notice the pattern. It begins with exhaustion, then fever, then the swellings, the buboes, painful, hard, spreading across the body, neck, armpits, groin. Then comes the weakness. People can no longer stand. They collapse where they are. Homes become silent. Entire families gone within days, sometimes within hours. The smell changes too. You notice it before you understand it. A sickly, sweet odor in the air, not from waste, not from the market. Something else, something heavier. You don't want to think about what it is. Doctors, if they can be called that, try to respond. They bleed patients. They burn herbs. They pray. Some wear cloths over their faces, but nothing stops it. Nothing slows it. Fear spreads faster than the disease. People begin to watch each other. Every cough becomes a warning, every touch a risk. You see a man refuse to help his own brother. He steps back, shaking his head, whispering, "No," over and over, because he knows. Helping means dying. And the worst part is the speed. There is no time to prepare, no time to say goodbye. One day someone is standing beside you in the market. The next, they are gone, and the city moves on without them. Because it has to. Because if it stops, it will collapse completely. You realize something then? This is not just a disease. It is a force, invisible, unstoppable, moving through London, taking people one by one until no one feels safe anymore and no one truly is. The change does not come slowly, it arrives all at once. One day, the market is loud. Voices layered over voices, coins clinking, arguments rising, life pushing forward. The next, something is wrong. Not silence, but restraint. People still come. They have to. But they keep their distance now. One step further apart than before, then another. Conversations shorten. Laughter disappears. Eyes don't meet for long. Hands hesitate before touching anything that isn't their own. You feel it immediately. Not just fear, but awareness. The understanding that something invisible is already here, and it could already be inside you. A man coughs nearby. It is not loud, not dramatic, but the reaction is instant. People shift away, not running, not panicking, just moving, creating space, as if distance itself could save them. He notices, of course he notices, his expression changes from confusion to something heavier, something final. He turns and walks away alone. No one follows. No one calls his name. Doors begin to close earlier each day. Wooden shutters slam shut before sunset. Bolts slide into place. Families gather inside, speaking in whispers, waiting, listening. Every sound from outside feels sharper now. Footsteps, wheels scraping the street, a distant cry that ends too suddenly, and sometimes nothing at all. Rumors spread faster than the disease. They say it came on ships. They say it's in the air. They say it's punishment. They say no one survives. No one knows the truth, but everyone believes something, and all of it leads to the same place, fear. You walk through a street you passed earlier. It feels unfamiliar now. The same buildings, the same narrow path, but fewer people. And those who remain move quickly, purposefully, as if standing still is dangerous, as if time itself has become an enemy. A woman pulls her child closer as you pass, not because of you, because of everything. And still, the disease moves through breath you cannot see, through touch you cannot trace, through fleas hidden in cloth, in straw, in the very walls of the city. There is no pattern, no warning, no way to stop it. You begin to understand the truth. There is no safe place here, not in the streets, not in the home, not even alone. Fear is no longer a reaction. It is the air. It fills every space, every room, every thought. And everyone is already breathing it. The bells never stop now. At first, you try to count them. One toll, then another, then another. But soon, they blur together into a constant sound that fills the air. Slow, heavy, endless. Church bells. Not for prayer, not for celebration, for death. Always for death. You begin to recognize the pattern. A single bell for one life, a longer toll for many. And now, it is almost never silent. Carts move through the streets at all hours. Not the kind you saw before. These do not carry bread or cloth or goods from distant lands. They carry bodies, stacked on top of each other, covered in rough cloth, if there is time. Sometimes there is not. You step aside as one passes. The man pulling it does not look at you. His face is empty, not cruel, not sad, just finished. A hand slips from the pile as the cart jolts over the uneven ground. It hangs there, lifeless, brushing against the wood with every movement. No one stops. No one speaks. People turn their eyes away, not out of respect, but because they have seen too much. Too many neighbors, too many friends, too many faces they once knew. Death is no longer an event. It is a routine, a rhythm, something expected, something ordinary. And that is what makes it terrifying. Because in this city, in this moment, life has become the exception, and death is everywhere. Outside the city, the earth is being opened, not carefully, not with ceremony, but quickly, urgently. Trenches stretch across the ground, wide, raw, unfinished. Men dig in silence, their movements heavy, mechanical. Carts arrive one after another. They do not stop for long. Bodies are unloaded fast, wrapped if there was time, bare if there was not. They are lowered together, layer upon layer. No names are spoken. No one keeps count anymore. A priest stands nearby, whispering prayers into the wind. Sometimes he finishes. Sometimes the next cart arrives too soon. The earth closes over them all the same. You try to understand how many, but your mind refuses, because this is no longer death as you knew it. This is something else, something endless, something that does not stop. As fear spreads, the structure of the city begins to fracture. At first, it is subtle. A shop that doesn't open, a street that feels quieter than before. Then it accelerates. Those with money leave quickly, abandoning homes, businesses, even family. Doors are locked and never opened again. But most cannot escape. They remain trapped inside the walls, watching the world collapse around them. Trust disappears. Neighbors avoid each other. Friends cross the street to stay away. Even priests hesitate. Desperation takes hold. Some cling harder to faith, filling churches with desperate prayers. Others lose it completely, turning to drinking, theft, or violence. Rules begin to mean less. Authority weakens. And in the middle of it all, many simply stop resisting. They wait, not for rescue, but for whatever comes next. And then something changes, not suddenly, not completely, but enough to feel. The noise begins to fade. The shouting is gone. No merchants calling, no arguments, no laughter spilling into the streets, only the wind and the distant toll of a bell. You walk forward slowly. Your footsteps sound louder now, unnatural against the quiet. This same street once forced you to move with the crowd. Now there is space. Too much space. Doors remain shut, not locked, just unopened. Windows stare back at you, empty. No faces, no movement. A cart stands abandoned, one wheel broken, as if someone simply left and never returned. You pass a doorway. Inside, only darkness. No fire, no voices, just absence. The city is still here. The buildings stand. The streets remain. But something essential is missing. Life has thinned, and those who remain move quietly, carefully, as if even sound itself could bring danger. London is not dead, but for the first time, it feels like it could be. And in that silence, you understand what was lost. London does not fall. It does not vanish from the map or fade into silence completely. But it is no longer the same place you entered. What remains feels heavier, slower, altered in ways you cannot fully see but can feel in every step. The streets are still there, the houses still lean above you, the markets still open. But something is missing. Too many voices are gone, too many lives have ended without warning. You begin to notice the gaps. A workshop once filled with noise now stands quiet. A home remains closed, untouched, as if time stopped inside. Spaces where people lived, now empty, and those who remain move differently, more carefully, more quietly. They look at each other with something new, not trust, not fear, but memory, because they remember everything, the bells, the carts, the endless days when death felt closer than breath. And yet, life continues. Bread is still baked. Fires are still lit. Children still walk these streets. London survives, not because it is strong, but because it must, because stopping is not an option. And in that quiet persistence, something begins again. Not hope, not yet, but survival. And for now, that is enough. You stand in the same street, but it no longer feels the same. The smell still lingers. Smoke, damp wood, something older. The houses still lean above you, closing the sky. But the noise is gone. No shouting, no carts, no pressing crowd, only space. Doors remain shut. Windows stare back, empty. Somewhere far away, a bell rings, slow and distant. You realize what you're hearing is absence. This city survived, but not unchanged. You take a careful breath and turn away. One step, then another. Behind you, London remains, quiet, waiting. This world, rebuilt using AI from medieval engravings, maps, and records, lets you walk through London as it was in 1348. Not as a story, but as a place. And for a moment, you were there.